there is only one bona fide spokesperson for the Ministry of Education, and that person, for the time being, is the Cabinet Secretary, who happens to be my most humble self. So when you quote senior officials from the ministry, those are yours, and where you got the information is your own problem. Therefore, I wish to declare this morning as follows. You'll remember that His Excellency the President, in his wisdom in the last address, was crystal clear that within 3 weeks there would be a larger stakeholders conference headed by my brother C.S. Matiang'i and my brother Kavayanos Vanao, my brother C.S. Kagwe of Health. That meeting is about to take place sometimes around or before the 25th of this month, and we have thought it wise as a specific education stakeholders to take stock of what is going on, and that taking of stock is premised on one thing, that even though we had said that schools shall reopen in January next year, the last statement read as follows, and I want to quote, and it is a shame that none of you ever remembered this. It was decisions regarding the reopening of learning institutions may change as informed by reports obtained from the Ministry of Health, hereby represented by Dr. Mbajo, prevailing circumstances, and increased knowledge of COVID. At that time, we were spiking into between 4 to 6 to 700. I think the expert has told you what is happening, and therefore it is in good state for us this morning to have come to relook at this process with the facts available to us. And therefore we have looked at all aspects, starting from universities and tertiary colleges, tvets and ttcs, secondary school sector, primary school sector, and the pre-primary school sector. And we, as stakeholders, have come to a consensus that indeed it is time to relook, because the doctor has told you the curve is flattening. I have said in the past that social distancing in our public schools is going to remain a challenge. I've also said that there are certain things we are doing about getting masks at the very worst for the vulnerable and the less fortunate children. All those processes are ongoing. And in order for us to prepare a presentation to present to the bigger stakeholders meeting, which will take place sometime next week, either before or on the 25th, we have decided to reactivate the smaller stakeholders group between now and Saturday to work on the finer details of proposals that shall be interrogated by this larger stakeholders group. And even at that time, if I succeed in getting backroom approval, then I will tell you what we have decided. If I do not, then those decisions that have been made at that point will be taken to the larger stakeholders group, which will then synthesize them and then give them to the principal, who will communicate the decision to you. Since I'm not allowing any questions, I want to address one other issue, which is the small issue of the BOM teachers. And like I said, you pretend as if you don't know what cash flow in government looks like. But BOM teachers should actually now have been paid, the bona fide ones. And I've said that many, many times. The cabinet and the government approved their payment. over 6 weeks ago. And that position has not changed. So let us not waste so much energy discussing non-issues.